Okay, so thank you for joining today's event. Today we have an amazing guest who will be talking to us about his journey to becoming a blockchain and a Web3 developer. And we also do have a bootcamp which is ongoing, and for those who would really want to join. And yeah, so for those who don't know me, I'm Jordan Mudhemba, and I'm a developer relation evangelist here in Kenya for the Celo Foundation. And I'm also a software and a smart contract developer. And yeah, so today's event is all about changing the story for blockchain in Africa. And we'll talk more about how we develop smart contract and how to become one blockchain developer. So I'll give this moment to Steve to talk about his role at Kotani Pay, and to tell us more about what is Kotani Pay. And yeah, so Steve, let me give you the sharing lights. If you have a slide, you can share. Yeah.
Thank you. Just give me a minute. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have a slide at the moment. So just a brief introduction. My name is Steve. I'm the CTO at Kotani Pay. So my background is in network security for a couple of years, and then I went into node validation, which was in the EOSIO network. We were one of the boot nodes, so we kind of visualized the EOSIO network. Then after that, we moved to Kotani, to Celo network. We were part of the founding teams, the only team of Africa. Then we decided to develop on the Celo network. Part of the reason for that was the Celo's focus on the African community and the decentralized networks in Africa, and how to engage with the African culture of mobile first. So that was the main reason. The reason we formed Kotani Pay was basically because we are looking at the existing solutions on the blockchain, and one of the challenges was the target was for the tech savvy, the main target of the blockchain as it was at the time, and still biggest part of it currently, the focus is on tech savvy. Yet the solutions it's trying to solve is for the real world, for the underserved. If you look at the core of the technology, what it's looking to is to deal with issues like governance, transparency, and the like, which is what we deal with on a daily basis. So what we are looking to do is how can we use what the existing this technology, which is progressive, to deal with our current issues, and that's how Kotani Pay was born.
Interesting. I remember you guys were the first bunch. You're the first bunch for the Celo bootcamp, and yeah. So speaking of bootcamps and how you started, you have mentioned how you started. So the next question should be how is Kotani an open source project? Yeah.
Yeah, so We are not fully open because we are an enterprise and we were non-funded. So so far we basically bootstrap from our own savings and the work we are doing on the node validation side. So for the longest time, we focus on building a product. In the future, there are sections we feel that they'll be open source, and part of that will be our APIs, which will allow any user to integrate onto that ecosystem and build a product around that. So that's what we are trying to finalize on. So there's a bit of our code is available on GitHub, but most of the some areas we are still working on improving before we can release this to the public. So that has been our main focus. So building a product that we feel it's stable enough for going to the market, and that with the focus on how does can blockchain integrate with the native technologies, which is GSM, that is has a much bigger reach than the 3G and the 4G networks, which is what most other applications are focusing on.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So speaking of GSM and the is it the dump phone, yeah. How is it like developing a USSD application on top of a blockchain technology, and yeah.
Yeah, so I think the biggest challenge is, of course, is that being the first, it means you have to figure out a lot of things by yourself. So that was the hardest, the toughest part of our journey. Because if you want to create a wallet, there are like 50 different wallets. Most are open source. You can easily go and fork their source code and create a wallet. If you want one, an iOS or an Android wallet, it's very easy. But when it comes to a USSD wallet, we are part of the very few pioneers in that space who are experimenting on how you can use the USSD technology to create a blockchain wallet and to interact with the blockchain wallet. So I would say the biggest challenge is being the pioneer. So you have no reference. You have to figure out most of the issues by yourself.
That is quite amazing, because I've been trying to do something of the same, and I can quite say that in blockchain, when there is no reference, you become quite a pioneer. And that brings us to the next question. Like, if somebody is new to blockchain technology, how can they get started? What are some of the platform or resources or like guides that can give you that solid foundation, or that a guidance to figuring out, at least give you a clue of how the next jigsaw puzzle will be, or the other piece of the jigsaw? Yeah.
Yeah, so nowadays there are a lot of resources available, especially on YouTube. There are a lot of tutorials out there. You have to, there are three main areas you need to identify: is which language to use, which platform to use, I'll say, and then what is your interest. So like you can see different blockchains have different focus. So if it's just a token, you will find there are a lot of blockchains. Some you can fork their source code and do their own, and that does not involve a lot of development. It's more you create your token and distribute. When you're talking of smart contracts, the biggest resource we have currently is GitHub, and you have a channel called OpenZeppelin, who have tried to standardize most of the things that are done. So you just need to identify what do you want to accomplish, and then go just search for a smart contract that does that. So that kind of fast tracks whatever process. when we started out a couple of years ago, creating a token used to be a process. You had to hire someone. Right now, you can, with just 3 lines of code and using an open Zempring library, you can create a token and generate the tokens and distribute on any of the EVM blockchains in less than 5 minutes. So that's how easy it has become to become a smart contract developer. Of course, now the main angles of interest are things like when you're talking security and auditing of smart contracts, of course. So when you are thinking of from that angle, it becomes now you need to learn a bit more. So there are resources like Eat the Blocks, which is a YouTube channel. There's another DAP University on YouTube, the same, and a few others. I may not have the full list, but once you go in and just search Solidity or blockchain tutorials, you find a lot of those tutorials. This Evernon Tech has a full course, like so. Those are some of the resources that will get you started. You just need to take them. If you go through most of their tutorials from the introduction to the end, you have covered more than you need to start a project.
Awesome, interesting. So those are actually some of the YouTube tutorials and YouTube all some of the guys have also watched, and they have really streamlined or given me like a good way, like a good the way they teach. It's really simple and easy to understand. So if you do that and if you follow that, you'll be able to also be a good smart contract developer. So, and another thing Steve has also mentioned is on smart contract auditing and security, which is a really interesting topic. I think that will be, we'll speak about smart contract security and another topics on a later event. Yeah. So the other thing or the other question that I would really like to ask is, what actually made you to decide that you really wanted, or what really sparked, or what made you to decide that blockchain is the way? Yeah, like what really, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. As I shared earlier, so there were when I looked, I started blockchain. I was from my first previous engagement, which was network security. There was a virus called WannaCry in 2016, and it was a ransomware. So they were demanding for BTC. So at that time, BTC was around $600, and that whole thing with media debug caused the blockchain, the BTC price to spike up to $1,800. So that kind of, I had seen Bitcoin when it was 600 and I didn't pay much attention to it. But when I saw that a few months later, I was like, interested, what's this thing that's going up in price? I knew about it a few, but I didn't pay much attention. So when I went in, I researched, I started learning more on the blockchain, the values. I read a book by Andreas Antonopoulos. He was talking about the internet of money. And I started seeing the potential. So initially I did some trading Forex for a few months, but then I realized as I researched more, because I paid attention, I got involved in the communities, and there were a lot of projects coming in. So as I researched, I realized the potential of what blockchain was trying to achieve. One of them was the commercial, the monetary aspect, which was with the tokens. But I saw the governance aspect, which for me was key, because I looked at things like savings and credits. I have lost money there before, and I looked at it like, if you had this thing on a blockchain, you could actually automate every aspect of the governance in terms of payouts and all that. And you don't have to depend on any single individual to do any authorization. And that for me felt like that is something I can move. Like if you look at the billions of funds which are held by circles, if you put this in a smart contract, and also look at the amount that has been lost, like in most of the scam circles in our system, that would be a game changer. So that was for me like an aha moment. Like I want to sell this thing across to all these people. Slowly, but as I realized that it's very hard to tell people to teach people technology. So the easiest way is to create technology that the people are comfortable with, so that people, if you want to transform kind of an ecosystem, you just give them similar to what they have, but it has to be cheaper, faster, and more efficient. So without those three, any technology will not pick up. And that's what gave me the idea of let's build a product that does that allows people to save their money to transact, but without having to worry. This is blockchain. This is like the same way you send a text or an email, and you don't have to worry about this. I'm dealing with the HTTP protocols or network subnet mask and all that stuff. Yeah. So that is what brought us really to the idea of let's build a product that is as simple as possible to use.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I like that. I like that. Sometimes I normally just tell people that when I'm talking about tech, it has to be simple and stupid. It has to be simple and stupid. Like dialing *123#. It's something really simple, and it's something that people can be able to remember, even if So make it simple and easy for use, and also the product has to be something the community has to be able to enjoy and also be confident on using it. Yeah, so that is really amazing. That is really amazing, because a lot of people who are here or people who have joined this meeting are mostly developers, and they are looking to transition to Web3, to Web3, from Web2 to Web3. So maybe you can share a little bit about your journey transitioning from Web2 to Web3.
Yeah, actually, when like I said, when I joined the blockchain development, I had stopped coding for like 10 years. So I think I got bored, did a few systems and websites, and that got monotonous and boring. So I left that and focused on network security, which was more interesting. And still also that got boring. Is the same configuration of routers and the like, which is the same thing. But so when I discovered smart contracts, I saw it was a kind of like a coming together of what all things I take, which is when it comes to security, when it comes to web, when it comes to identity, it's all together integrated as one product. So that felt interesting, and also that its fast growth was something that was refreshing. So I'd say I had done things like Java, so moved into the likes of JavaScript and what else? Yeah. So I did a bit of Flutter because I wanted to do some Android apps. So, and all those came in. So the main language I had to learn was Solidity. I like the structure of it because it's very much similar to JavaScript. If you've learned JavaScript, there's another one called Viper. If you are familiar with Python, but you not get a lot of support for it. So it will be a cheaper and easier path to learn Solidity and than to go Viper and then have to create their own smart contracts. It may grow in the future for those who are Python friendly. I know the two syntax wise are a bit different, but yeah, so it is what it is. So yeah, so the main tools are running Solidity. For the front end, which is where now Web3 comes in, is the Web3 library itself. So basically, this is an integration, and if you are a Web2 and you just that kind of connects you. So if you have tools like React or Angular or whatever, you can easily integrate with the Web3 library. Different APIs that helps connect the Web3 and the Web2. There's a lot of content again. If you go to Web3.solidity or and solidity.io, you'll find there's a lot of tutorials from very basic, from connecting to the blockchain and to now interacting with either like your website. To React to website, that's the biggest tool used, so React.js. To now configuring, deploying the smart contracts and the like. So if you are not really familiar with smart contracts, you don't necessarily have to start there. You can start with, if you are good in websites, you can actually just look at existing smart contracts which have already been deployed. Like the Celo network, you can see the stable token, the USD, and the Celo token itself, and you can actually interact with them from your own app, which will be on your website through the Web3 library. So that can be a basis for a Web2 to just to interact with the blockchain without having to learn about smart contracts and the like.
Interesting. Yeah. So speaking of the Celo blockchain, if you are a person who is coming from the other side, that is Ethereum, is the transition hard, or is it the same as the Ethereum and the other blockchain, EVM compatible? I mean, EVM compatible blockchain. Is the development similar for some people who are coming out from maybe from Ethereum and now they are now trying to build on Celo blockchain? Yeah.
Thank you. So that I think that's one of the biggest plus for Celo is that it's actually easier for an Ethereum developer to come to Celo, because the Celo basically being an EVM compatible blockchain and running using Solidity as its base language, it means that everything you've deployed on the Ethereum network, you can deploy it on the Celo and it will work seamlessly. And the added advantage is on Ethereum, you have to figure out how you have to manage the gas fees. Let's say you have one token, like there are a lot of tokens. You can pick something like Uni token or the comp token. If you have that in your Celo blockchain and you want to transfer to another wallet, you have to have some Ethereum, and that's to pay for the gas. And like that, when you come to the Celo network, if you have the USD token or any other token, you can pay for the gas fees without token, without having to have some Celo token on your wallet. So that makes it very easy, that the user does not have to hold multiple tokens on their wallet to be able to do a transaction. That is one. But all the other aspects when it comes to the deployment, the block extra and the like, it's pretty much the same. So if you're coming from an Ethereum ecosystem, it will be like a walk in the park for you when you're developing on Celo.
Awesome. Yeah. So speaking of walking the park and such, what was like your first big win that really made you confident in blockchain? Like, what was your first win? For people, maybe for since you have been part of you are part of the batch one bootcamp winners, and for people who will really want to become hackathon like hackathon experts, what kind of advice would you really give them? Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say that introduction at the Celo bootcamp was for us the big thing, because it helped us think about the product development and the kind of market you are looking at, and also the interactions with other developers from different regions who are thinking of different problems and how to tackle them. So that interaction was huge for us. It helped us to shape our product, and the fact that we were able to be validated enough that our product has a market fit, that was big. From there, we did a number of hackathons. So there are actually quite a number. We go to platforms like Bitcoin, where they do hackathon like every month. Then there's the Celo, which does, I think it's once a year currently. So that gave us the confidence about what product we are looking at, we were building, and it also gave us exposure to investors and potential clients, because once you interact with an ecosystem, you get to meet the who's and who's of that ecosystem, and that kind of introduces you to even think of your product in a different way. So I would say if you are get into as many hackathons and start and accelerator programs you can when you're starting out. Of course, don't get into too many at the same time, because the workload can be overwhelming, and it may deter you from building the actual product, because at the end of the day, you understand your market and you understand what you're trying to build. And it's always good to have a third party's view of your product, right? It's like when you are building a product and a client tells you, I'm looking for this. Yeah, and so you know what needs to be done and what work goes into building whatever product. So again, we are told that the biggest problem with developers is you want to finish a product, but that's why we focus on creating an MVP, a minimal viable product, then put it to market, have it validated. So it validation. Then that's where you look at things like traction. If the product you have, it has users, then you build it to the next phase, and you iterate from the feedback you have from the users. So that's how we build our product. How we started initially is we find that there are a few things we've changed here and there, but that was from the feedback we got from our clients.
Awesome. Yeah. So get your MVPs ready. Get your hands into building a product and focus more on the user. So yeah. So the last, I think this will be the last question coming from me. Then I'll open the floor for anybody who would have a question. Yeah. So the last two questions is one, what are some of the career opportunities which are available at Kotani? And what career mistake has given you the biggest lesson? And yeah.
So I think the biggest was early on when we started out. There was a lot of, I would say, could they say tribalism in the, I'll just use that word, in the crypto ecosystem. There were, we say there were Bitcoin maximalists, Ethereum maximalists, and Cardano maximalists, and the like. And that following that narrative, you'll get confused. Remember, so blockchain, remember, is a tool in itself. So if you're coming from Ethereum, everyone is like, you start telling you don't go to Celo because Celo is this and that. Don't go to Cardano because it's this and that. Don't go to EOS because it's this and that. Look at blockchain is not a state in itself, is a tool. So if you focus on what you're trying to achieve rather than where you are, and now use that the blockchain as a tool, you'll have a better experience than trying. Because I remember early on we tried to build a lot of products being on a new platform, a blockchain platform that didn't have that tool in yet. Yet there was a platform which had those tools, and because the narrative was this platform is superior than the other one, so we need to go that. So the biggest lesson I learned is when you come to the blockchain ecosystem, understand which platform, which blockchain does what best, one, and also what tools you need for whatever products you're building. If you incorporate all that, you'll be able to move faster in that ecosystem. Again, all the technologies that exist right now, they are still very young. So even the economic value that is locked in is still very small. You can't compare a platform managing 100 billion with a platform managing 1 million, because the security and the risk involved are different. So if I come with a new product and I tell you this is the best, and you say because it's faster and it's not yet tested, so that's a risk that is involved. So and down, you don't know how far down the line that will be true. So the key thing is compare the risk versus the risk, compare the risk reward ratio in terms of if I do I have everything I need necessary now to build a product, and will I be able to migrate to the next phase of my product if I reach that product today with the platform that I'm using enable me to do that. So for me, that I think would be the biggest lesson. The other thing I would say is identify what are your skills and what are your tools. Tools is anything you can change. Skills is things like how do I market my product, who are my customer, who is what. My tools is what platforms I'm using, what language I'm using, what, yeah, and similar thing. Yeah. So with that, it's able to, the faster you move your market to the product market, the faster you'll be able to identify the market fit. So if you take a whole year building a product, and then when you take to the market, there's no one to purchase this. You're worse off than the guy who took a month, failed, did again and failed. By the third, fourth time he's iterating, he has a few clients and he's able to develop on that.
Awesome, awesome. So the last question was awesome. So create your product, iterate, and then you go as you move, and you move as you go. So the last question, then I open the forum or the meeting to anybody who will want to ask a question. You can start typing your question on the chat if you are shy. You can type on the chat. And yeah, so the last question was on career opportunities which are available at your company or at Kotani. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're actually currently looking in the coming weeks to hire a few devs. Right now we are looking for a BD person. So there are two main opportunities. So there's BD, business development, and there's developers. I'll speak on the developer side. We are not looking so much at history or degree and whatever. We are looking at someone who is versatile, who has a quick learner. So those are the key things you look at, and also someone who is proactive. Of course, you need to have some whatever, you can show knowledge in things like JavaScript, interactions, with ability to work with APIs. Um, we have a lot of interaction with boards and the like. So those are some of the key areas that we'll be looking at when we are looking at hiring. But that is some of the main areas. Of course, with the wider community also, there are a lot of opportunities that come our way, and you can connect if you have the right skills to do with Web3 and smart contracts. There are a lot of opportunities coming our way, and we can pass that on to anyone who has the relevant skills.
Awesome, awesome. Cool. Great. Yeah, those are some of the opportunities which are available at Kotani. And if you guys or one of you guys really think that they fit you can try yeah. So at this moment, I would like to ask if there is anybody who has a question, feel free to ask. It's a new thing. It's I normally say that we only learn through asking questions. So you can only learn through asking questions and having a curious mind, like wanting to know. That's how you get to learn. So feel free to ask a question. Don't be afraid. Yeah. If you don't, I will ask for you. I will ask for you. You can write it on the chat. Yeah. So as we wait, okay, Martin, your mic is. You can ask. Martin, you can ask your question. You can ask your question, Martin. Oh, okay, let me just ask. Or you type on the chat. Okay, type on the chat. As Martin types on the chat, you have mentioned about different blockchains and their benefit, and this kind of tempts me to ask about cross-chain compatibility of different of the Celo blockchain and the other blockchain, whether it's something that is already, or if whether it's something which is being built, yeah, for people who will really want to, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a project called Optics. It's building a cross-chain tool for on Celo to allow other blockchains, so you can put either your source code or your token to the Celo network. I think currently there are two projects which have done that. This Swap and I think I can't remember 0x which have done that. They were initially built on Ethereum, and because of gas fees and all that, they opted to other network. So that's one. The other that allows you to you can create more liquidity and value on the Celo network. So that's something that is happening more and more often, and more blockchains are coming together. So before you are like a maximalist of one chain, but now people are realizing like cooperation is better than competition. Like if you identify like what your chain does better than the others, you can actually offer that as a value to the other blockchains, and that cooperation is what makes our community stronger.
Awesome. Yeah, because at the end of the day, the intentions of all blockchain technology is one to bring decentralization, and with a cross-chain and a cross-chain communication of different platforms will always something which is really great to give or to extend the benefit of a particular blockchain. Yeah. So Martin, we are still waiting on your question. Okay, so it's yeah, see the reason why. So Martin is asking if you have mentioned about creating an MVP and pushing the product first to the market. So one of the problem I find is finding the initial clients. How were you able to find the first clients, especially for a new product in the market that most people haven't heard about?
I'd say you should be your product's first client. So if you cannot use your product or you don't have a daily use for it for yourself, then that tells you that product does not have a market fit. Once you've done that, the next phase is you can reach out to people close to you, tap into your network, friends and family. Most products you find, you can get an investment if you have let's say a reach of 1,000 users. So I'm sure if you look at your network, can I get 1,000 users? That's the second question you ask yourself. Then from there now you start looking at that is your users and your users network. Again, our biggest marketing was just posed on things like LinkedIn, Twitter, and the like. That's where we did our main target. Not one of the reasons we are doing things like our BD is because we've never been like actively marketed our product. We've just gone through. We did a product that we thought users needed, and that brought traction. The accelerators help increase the reach of a bigger market reach, because we identified which communities can use our products. In this time, we looked at exchanges, blockchain protocols, and dApps were our target clientele. And we reached out to Discovery by posting and interacting with them during the hackathons. We are able to reach them. Then the next thing is local businesses and which needs your product. So again, you have to identify who are you building the product for. Once you identify your building for, just you can go out and reach directly to those particular clientele and tell them I have this product and would you like to test it? If they like it, they might tell you that we don't like it, you can improve on it. Again, that is feedback, and you use that to iterate and improve your product. But the number one client is, can I use the product myself? Number two is, can I share it with my nearest, closest companions, and what kind of feedback? Because especially remember, blockchain is like money in itself. So when you're building a product, you want to keep testing it as you iterate, because the more users you have, the more value you have in it. And so it's very best to catch any challenges early on.
Awesome. So that is really awesome. You are the first client. Yeah, the first client. Yeah. So there is a question here, and I think this one is you can answer, and I can also answer this one. So Kevin says that his question is where or how can I access the best training to become a dApp developer? So we do have a training which is ongoing, and next year in January in December watch out for the application form. It will be out either by the first week of the second week of December, where you can be able to register. We have a local developer training for developers here in Africa. It's a bootcamp that I'm the one who is taking everyone through it. And then there were some few, not few, but there are some YouTube tutorials which are available. And there is a lot of resources which are available, that is on DAP University, Ivan on Tech, and also Eat the Blocks. And also there are some resources which I also do have that I can share with you if you're looking to get started to become a blockchain developer. Yeah. Maybe Steve can also add something on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you cover most of them. The other thing I'd like is this Figment network, which has done some good tutorials on how to do some of the most common tasks when it comes to interacting with blockchains. They basically followed from, you can go to like Celo docs and the like, but they borrowed from the task and tried to structure them like in a way that it's simple to follow. That is one. Literally, the blogs is one of the best content creator and tutorial found out there. Japanese, I just can't say the second. Yeah, those are the main ones. Then you can go to the Solidity tutorial docs and Web3 docs. It's web3.solidity.io. The Solidity is .solidity.io. Yeah, so if you start there, you can get most of the content. Again, interact with the communities, interact with the whatever the programs, the boot camps, and they help a lot accelerate the knowledge and basically help you build a product. And there are also a lot of discussions if you go to the dev communities on Discord. You get any solution you need, you just interact. I think Jordan can share the Celo's Discord group.
Sure, I'll share the Celo Discord group link, and also to add more on the Celo doc. There is also you have talked about Figment.io. Figment you earn to learn. There is also Decade you also earn to learn. So every project that you submit, that you follow the tutorial that you have followed, you are able to earn some like I think it's 100 USD once you have been able to learn. So you are kind of incentivized to learn building dApps. Other than that, there is also is it Tantam? Yeah, Tantam. Yeah, where you are also able to learn more about Celo blockchain. They also do have courses and tutorial guides to do that. So let me get you the link for the Celo group, and also the one for developer community here in Kenya, and also the one for the Celo Foundation itself. So yeah. So is there any other question? So there is a question from Iram, who is asking, in the future of OTT platform payment method use blockchain. Kindly elaborate on clarify, because I don't know if you've gotten it.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Yeah, that's kindly it's at least expound more so that we can be able. Will it use blockchain or I don't know. Yeah. Iram.
Hi. Right now, we can use rupees or currency for paying the OTT platform to watch the movies or cinemas. In future, we have used some kinds of coins like Ethereum or Gitcoin, means coin to pay for watching cinemas and TV shows on OTT?
I would say that that's a possibility. Right now, anything you can pay with things like Visa, Mastercard, or whatever mobile money, you can use blockchain. It's just a simple API integration. So once the technology becomes widely used and accepted, that all that becomes a possibility, and it's easier to use and it has fewer risks compared to these other platforms. So I say that's a yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, the future is actually not limited. The future is not limited. Currently, we have a lot of things which are going on the Web3 space, especially on about the future and the way we communicate and the way we see entertainment. We have decentralized, decentralized. We have sandbox. We also have metaverse, and all these things are working on Web3 and Web3 and Web 3.1, which is really interesting. And yeah, so the future is great. All it's unfolding actually. Yeah. So is there any other question? Any other question?
You have to proceed as going to another meeting. So thank you everyone for your time.
If there is no question, then I think we can call it a wrap. And yeah, so thank you, Steve, for having us. No. Thank you, Steve, for joining us and taking your time to explain us to us your development journey and a lot of things, and also giving us something that at least you are you are pioneering something new, and which is really amazing. And for people who are looking to join, at least they have somebody they can follow and say that there is somebody who is doing this, and we can also be able to do this. Yeah. So awesome, and thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us. Hope next time we'll be able to talk more about maybe blockchain security, smart contracts, Oracle, and maybe even metaverse and such. Yeah.
All right. My pleasure.
So yeah, you can before you leave. Okay. He has just left. So I'll try and see if I can get his contact and share with you guys. If you have more questions, you can ask him. Yeah. So thank you guys for those guys who are joining us for the first time. I'm Jordan, and I take you through I have a bootcamp that is ongoing, and also part of the next year we'll still have the same bootcamp. So if you're looking to transition from Web 2 to Web 3, you're in the right meeting. So yeah. So I've shared, let me also share the WhatsApp group. So I've shared the Discord chat for Celo, and the other one is the Discord group for the Celo community here in Kenya. So you can join either of the community. And yeah. So let me get the link for the WhatsApp group. Yeah. So there is the WhatsApp group link. You can join and join the discussion and yeah. So yeah. The other thing is on Friday we'll be starting on okay, I think we'll finish up on the project that we had started. That is the Ubisoft Cron, the DeFi Cron, and then on Monday we can get started on a different application that will be on the USSD, kind of creating a USSD together with Mongo and also uh, and also the Celo's contract kit. So it's gonna be an amazing build because you will be integrating the Web2 technologies together with the blockchain technology, and yeah, it's gonna be an amazing build. Yeah, so yeah, watch out for the next class. Yeah. So if somebody has a question, more clarification. By the way, I'm really impressed by you guys. Most of you guys have been able to load the smart contract. Apart from a few issues, you guys have been able to load the smart contract, and I really like the effort you guys are doing. So keep up, and yeah. So if there is a question or something that we can do, that I can do, or something, you can ask, if a suggestion or a comment or something. Yeah. Hello. Oh, there is the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Hello. Okay. Continue typing. Martin, continue typing. So I don't know, maybe you can send a screenshot. We have two we have contract and ABIs. You have the ABIs, and then we have the smart contracts. I don't know whether it's on your side where they were replicated, because we have a folder under the source folder or the SLC folder. There is an ABI folder, and then we have a contract folder, which is supposed to have 4 smart contracts. That is the yield, the Ubisoft, the CUSD, and also the migration contract. The ABI is supposed to have the same. It's supposed to have the same. So the extension is on a JSON format. So yeah. So maybe you can share the screenshot of your folder structure on the group. Yeah. Other that, nice to see you all nice to see you, Norman. Yeah. Okay, I'm not seeing you. think you have you have, I think you have two projects which are open. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's have the, if there is no other question, Martin will have a call after this, but I can assist you on that. Okay. Send them the one for, send them the one for Discord. Send them the one for Discord. Yeah, send them to Discord. Yeah. Okay, if there is no other question, then we can have a you can meet on Friday. We can meet on Friday, and also please make sure that you submit the form that I sent. Yeah, the one for most useful things that you have run. Just make sure you have filled the form and you have done most of the task. It's really it will really help me in understanding whether we are doing something. Yeah. So yeah, we can call it an end. Yeah. So bye.